Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and if you have time, I would love to know how you are and how things are going. This week, I am hoping for a short little story time, but I just wanted to share some things I learned. I found out the other day that I had completed 365 days of reels. So a reel a day for a year. So last year I joined this sort of challenge that was set by Melanie and Leia in an Alpha Fem program somewhere. She mentioned she was trying it and said, if you want to join me, do it. And I just thought, Sakul just said, why not? Apparently there was some mystical, magical thing that the algorithm is supposed to do when you post a reel a day for 90 days. So I was curious to see how that would go. I wanted to I wanted to sort of test my open heart center commitmentness. I just wanted to see how I got on. And I remember when I committed to it, I wasn't like speaking it out loud, but I was putting it in my hashtags every day. And I had to sort of think of it one day, just take it one day at a time, not overthink it, not worry about if I'm sick, not worry about this, not set an alarm, just take it day by day. And I went for it. Now, Walnut, I think that if you are a strategic person and you're very into strategy and you know what you want, you know your vision, you know what your mission is, and you're a structured and organized person, I think that something like this could really work in your favor. But for me, because Walnut Wednesday is still I still have a couple of question marks as to what Walnut Wednesday really actually is, because Walnut Wednesday is just me. In a walnut shell. It's just how I treat it, how I feel, and I behave how I feel like behaving at the time. And it's just mainly sharing in the moment how I am, how I'm feeling, and things that inspire me and motivate me. So it's a little bit tricky because Walnut Wednesday is an extension of myself, where I know in a strategic way people are using social media for their businesses. And that's where it kind of got a little bit complicated for me. So my last reel, I kind of just did a little video of like what I learned. And I didn't really learn a lot. I feel like at the 90-day mark, nothing really spontaneous happened. Nothing magical happened. I didn't all of a sudden get a huge influx of engagement or followers, or all my reels didn't just magically hit over 20K views, or nothing phenomenal really happened. Kind of like life. It's kind of like, when you watch a blockbuster, well-funded movie like friggin' Transformers or something, there's all this money thrown into it. It's had all this advertising. It's like everywhere. It's high action. It's like all the big like trumpet sounding, dramatic kisses, very Hallmark, hero kind of scenes, versus an art film that sort of is brilliant and reflects real life. It's kind of like that. It's kind of how I felt about it. I was just like, oh, okay. So I know that the people who are like wildly successful and they post about their business and how they can help you every day and that kind of thing, I feel like maybe those people would have done really well because they had that blockbuster momentum, where I kind of yeah, some days I posted a reel of me drinking coffee. Sometimes I posted something very inspiration, getting out in a bikini as a size 16, or um, yeah, kind of just like flashed around with just how I felt at the time. So I think if I really sat down and was a person who enjoyed strategy and being strategic and pre-planning out my content and things like that, maybe the 90-day magical thing would have happened. But it didn't really. It didn't really do anything for Walnut Wednesday. Sure, I got I think maybe 100 more followers in the early on of the reels. I think I have a video somewhere. I started on like 800 or 900 followers, and now I'm at like 1,000 and something. So I did get a little bit more. But I don't think that was just for doing a reel a day. You know what I mean? So um yeah, and also Walnut, just because numbers and following has never been something that's important to me. So anyway, it was a good learning. It was very interesting, and I just wanted to share it with you, Walnut, because what I got out of it was not to take life too seriously. And as with other challenges that I've done in the past, sometimes they motivate you, for the better, and challenge your commitment and accountability and everything like that. For me, I missed a reel one day, and as a rule to myself, I just said, as long as I back it up and do two reels the next day or whatever. So I was still tracking that, like, day one out of 365, day two, etc. I was still doing 365 reels. Um, so I had that set for myself. People that are very masculine and action driven might call that a cop out. And I know people who have done like Facebook Live challenges, where they've missed a day, they would go back to the beginning and start again. Walnut, I got 3 jobs if you include Walnut Wednesday, the podcast, as a job. I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time to fart around with needing to start again just because I am a human and I live a life and I missed a reel. No, I don't believe in that. So that was a little rule I set for myself. But I think it's a cool tool, Walnut, to try out if you want to check in with your commitment, check in with your accountability. Sometimes just little challenges like that can really like shift your momentum into something. I'm doing a 12-week challenge for exercise at the moment. Sometimes if I strike when the iron is hot, I do catch the momentum. Other times, with challenges, I don't. If my sacral doesn't feel like it, I just won't continue. So, it is a cool way to sort of check where you're at with that sort of thing. But what came out of it for me was just not to take life too seriously, Walnut. I think we are in such a busy little bee kind of world and way of functioning, and being millennials and having this weird like work ethic and needing to be burnt out to show that you're productive and things like that. I just I'm proud of myself that I did it at the end, but the way I got to the end was by not taking it too seriously, taking it a day at a time, and again coming back to, like I said, I'm trying to be really present at the moment. Um, so that was my kind of learning out of something that was pitched to me in a way of like, ooh, um, big things are gonna happen. And I just didn't have any magical big things happen because I didn't put any giant big magical pressure on myself. You know what I mean? I didn't take it too seriously. But if I had taken it seriously, which I probably wouldn't because I'm not the kind of person, maybe those results would have been there, and maybe this whole episode just sounds like a cop out. But if you take anything from this, Walnut, I think it is just sometimes we just need to take a chill pill. And even if we take a chill pill, even if we take it down a notch, even if we decide to relax for a moment, it doesn't mean that we're not productive. It doesn't mean that we're not going to get the things we need to do done. And it doesn't mean we're not going to get them done effectively. If we're not serious all the time and high energy all the time and always a big ball of whatever your your thing is that you need to be, if we're not on all the time, because yeah, we get stuck into so much pressure. It doesn't really need to be there, and it doesn't need to be so serious. And you can still complete it all without that high level of, I would call it overwhelm, but pressure. So I hope this episode kind of makes sense. I hope I hope my learning kind of just gives you some kind of like, oh, but I do think these little challenges are really cool to do from time to time, just to check in with yourself, with where you're at, with your own commitment and your own accountability. But also, Walnut, it does come down to boundaries and knowing what you actually want to do and what you feel like you should be doing. So yeah, I I'm completely talking over all of the points, making not much sense. But I hope you take something away, and mainly just like we don't need to like take life too seriously. Penny Lane from Almost Famous. I always tell the girls not to take life too seriously, because if you don't take life seriously, you'll never get hurt, or something like that. Um, just a little pep talk for you today, Walnut. It's just you've got this. Be yourself. You don't have to try and be someone else and be a serious little banana all the time. You know, we're getting too old to be anyone else but ourselves, and to give all these fucks that I've been handing out left, right, and center all these years. I'm a bit tired of it, Walnut. So it's time to just give all the fucks to myself and keep them. On that, before I waffle on, I hope you're having a wonderful week, Walnut. I would love to hear from you. If you resonate with this episode, or if you just have a story time to share about a time where you didn't take it too seriously and it still ended up okay. The Walnut Tree is my free group on Facebook. Otherwise, I'm here to have chats on the social medias all the time, and not having to do a reel a day anymore. Just posting as and when I feel like it now, which it's like I get a little rest. But I'm about Walnut, and I'd love to hear from you and how you're going, and if you resonate with this episode or any others. So have a happy Walnut Wednesday. Be brave, be yourself, and know that you are beautiful, sexy, and delicious. And no matter what mood you are in or emotion you are currently feeling. I will talk to you next week. Bye.